Yo, what is up, everybody? Hope each and every one of you guys are doing well. If you are new to my channel, welcome. My name is Noah, and I help people awaken into their true abilities through wellness and spirituality, aka Noah's Ark. And speaking of spirituality, I wanted to come on here and tell you guys the 3 different stages of a spiritual awakening in general, because if you are familiar or if you aren't familiar with a spiritual awakening or what it is, pretty much a spiritual awakening is an awakening that a lot of people deal with in their life, and a lot of people don't know how to handle it, and that's why I'm here. I want to give you guys the 3 stages of spiritual awakening and kind of how you can cope and just really utilize it to your advantage, because what a spiritual awakening is, it's pretty much whenever somebody has a huge awakening about life in general, right? Your soul, why you're here, you connect with your spirit, you're able to, there's a lot of veils that get lifted from your eyes, you start to see a lot of the truth. And the first stage of a spiritual awakening is actually the stage where that's when you realize that everything that you've been told or that you've been taught, whether it be school, whether it be your family, your household, is a lie, right? You understand and start to see a lot of truth in everything that you do. And this extends into every facet of your life, right? You're able to be like, pinpoint something and be like, wow, this is actually not what I thought it was, and it's very hard at first, it can be very hard and challenging for people who aren't very loving and people who aren't very accepting of what the truth is. I know, you can either go one of 2 different ways. A lot of people will start to break down and kind of just be super grateful, and this could involve a lot of tears, because it's a lot to process. Anytime somebody has a big awakening in their life, whether it be spiritual or just an aspect of their life where they're like, whoa, I can see the truth, I know what's happening. It's very powerful because you feel very powerful, and a lot of people aren't used to feeling that feeling of true power through true authenticity and true truth, and so this stage either goes one of 2 ways. Either people really enjoy it and they dive right in, and they go straight down the rabbit hole, or they deny it. They try to convince themselves that is a lie in and of itself, right? The awakening is just a lie in and of itself, because what you've been taught has kind of been spun in a 180-degree angle where you're like, whoa, I'm not too used to this. I'm not used to seeing the truth in a lot of different things. I'm not used to all this. And I remember specifically on my spiritual awakening, just to give you guys some reference, whenever I first truly had my spiritual awakening, it was very like a moment of like, wow, I was even watching television. I'm like, whoa, there's so many different things that I perceived one way that completely I got, the truth, and I can see it for what it is. That's what happens a lot on this journey. And that's why I want to make this video for you guys, because your spiritual awakening is a journey. It's not a final destination, and I feel like a lot of people don't understand that when they're going through this process, is that it doesn't happen in one day, it doesn't happen in a week, it doesn't happen in 2 weeks. You're always constantly growing and evolving with this truth and this new knowledge that you have learned and gained from yourself. And so that's pretty much the first aspect of it, is where you understand the truth. Everything kind of hits you at once. It's like, whoa, it's very powerful, very intense type of energy. So don't blame yourself if you feel overwhelmed. Us as, living this life, we are humans as well. So it's normal to feel like you're out of place, right? It's normal to feel like you're not like other people. And that's a big theme when we talk about spiritual awakening as well, is just kind of finding who you are. You start to understand who you are. And the second stage is where you understand all this information, but you now become very judgmental of other people. You might create a very, a dissonance with your family, even because you understand that a lot of the things that they are doing are very opposite of what you believe, of what you've kind of incorporated in your belief system. And I think this is the stage where you try to wake them up. You try to be like, look, it's very simple, guys. Life is amazing. Life is awesome. You know, we're here for a specific reason. You know, you're so used to your family teaching you and training you certain ways of being, and you've incorporated this new knowledge where you're like, no, F that. You know, I don't really want to live the same way that I was programmed and conditioned to live. You know, I view myself in a completely different way. So you start to become a little bit judgmental of other people, and you start to have resentment for people in your life who you truly felt really, really close to. And this can be a hard stage. You know, I know it was for me, where people get really, really annoyed of you because they're like, dude, you're crazy. You know, you're wild. You don't know what you're talking about. And, you know, you can always plant the seed within people, but you can never change what they truly believe in. And that's something that's super important when you're during this stage. You know, you might find yourself in this stage right now where you're like, man, fuck everybody else. You know, fuck this. I don't want to have, you know, I don't want to live in a situation where everyone else has completely opposite beliefs to me. I want everyone to understand where I'm coming from, you know, and sometimes you just can't, and it's hard for others to kind of understand you. You know, this is what you'll also find with this stage, is that, you know, you don't relate to a lot of other people. You know, you stop trying to relate to other people. And, you know, a lot of the times this can come in terms of losing friendships with people, close friendships who you've been friends with people for, you know, years. I remember on my spiritual journey, my friend was like, yo, what happened to you, man? Like, you're completely different. You know, you're a different person. And what happened was I grew and that person stayed the same. You know, that person wasn't able to become introspective like how I was, or, you know, you start to grow apart from these people. And it's not necessarily a bad thing. It just means that you're evolving as a person. And, you know, that person will forgive you eventually for going on your own path and kind of growing apart, because that's what happens. You know, even if you're not on this journey of spiritual awakening, you grow apart from people as your life evolves, as you get older. You just grow apart from people. So this is just such a normal and natural process within the spiritual awakening process. So this can be a very tough and challenging phase for a lot of people who aren't used to letting, you know, go of other people. And they're not used to having so many different opinions from people, you know. And specifically for me, I can be a very passive person at times. And, you know, I personally didn't want to be conflictive and combative with my siblings and my family, but that's what it came to, because I had such a strong and heavy belief system of who I was and what the universe, what I believe within the universe. And it was hard for people to digest that. So just understand, if you're in this stage, don't try to control people. Understand that people will grow at their own pace and they will go towards change at their own rate. You know, the people themselves, you have to be the one who ultimately decides to change your life. Nobody else can, right? And so that leads me to my third stage of spiritual awakening, where this is the stage where you start to become accepting of people. And this could take a while for others. You know, this could take, because I see a lot of people, especially on social media, who are in that second phase they're in that second stage of the spiritual awakening, where they know all the knowledge, right? They understand how life is and how beautiful it is, but they want to judge other people. You know, they want to say that people are wrong for believing a certain way. And, you know, without understanding that everybody is their own human being. Everybody is going to experience their own trials and tribulations on their own time. And this is a stage where you start to fully understand that. You know, you understand that people are going to be their own, they're going to live their own way, they're going to have their own lives, and they're going to do their own thing. And, you know, like I said, for a lot of people, it takes a while to get out of this second stage, you know, because they don't want to accept the fact that people are going to be who they are regardless of who you are, you know. And just by authentically being yourself, you will change people. Understand this too. By being on this journey and by knowing this esoteric knowledge, you will change people, you know, even if you're not trying to, right? Just you being yourself and you showing up for the world in every humanly way possible and being your best authentic version, that light is going to shine through other people. It's going to shine on other people. And so once you're in this third stage, that's when you start to become more accepting of other people. You stop judging them for what they believe, and you understand that they will grow and they will evolve on their own time. And this is where you really start to gain that love back for your family or your friends who you once really judged super heavily. And you're able to understand that, yo, you know, these people are going to grow at their own rate and they are on their own journey and everybody's different. And you start to truly understand this and understand that people are just going to be themselves regardless of who you are, you know. And once you accept this is the ultimate truth that really sets you free, you know, because you're really locked in and trapped in a limiting belief system, trying to control other people and trying to change what they believe. And so once you get to this stage, it's very refreshing and it's very freeing. And for me, and specifically, this was the stage where I started becoming interested in other people. You know, my job deals with learning about a lot of people. So it was very interesting for me because I was able to incorporate my spiritual work and my spirituality into trying to understand where other people come from. What type of belief systems do these people have? What type of beliefs do they have? Where do they come from? What's their story? What's their life? What does their life look like? You know, and so you might find that you start to become interested in just humans in general. You know, once you've learned and developed your own sense of self and you've developed a relationship with yourself, you start to really appreciate others for just being authentically themselves, you know, and you just become so curious about other people and you become interested to the fact where you want to ask people about their lives. You know, you're genuinely interested in what people are going through. And this is very, very powerful because a lot of people aren't used to them being interested in their life, regardless of what they're doing. We're in a society nowadays where everything is about me, everything's about me. But once you get into this stage and you understand and you let go of what people believe and you just see them for being a human being, right? You see them for who they are, then it's a very transformative period. You know, this is the period where your life starts to become exponentially greater because you've let go of trying to control them. You've let go of being a light in their life. You've let go of trying to change their life to how you want it to be and instead letting them live their life on their own. And like I said before, people will appreciate you for this and your energy becomes so magnetic when you start to want to learn about other people, right? Because it is so unheard of somebody who is so genuinely interested in somebody, right? It doesn't happen every single day, and I'm sure they don't experience that every day too. So people will love to talk to you about that, and you can start building connections with people this way as well, and start really developing friendships with people. And this is a stage where you also start setting boundaries because you understand what your boundaries are. You know, so very transformative period. Those are the 3 different stages of a spiritual awakening. I'll kind of recap what I've been talking about these past 10 minutes. But the first stage was you unlock the truth of life, what life is truly about, and you understand who you are a little bit. You start learning about yourself. And it's very overwhelming, very powerful. Once you move into the second stage, that's where you start to become a little bit judgmental of other people. You start really going down that rabbit hole and trying to control and trying to make people see what life is about. And you try to control them, and you really want to change other people's perception about life because you understand that they could live such a better life if they understand a few simple principles. And then once you get into this third stage, that's when you start to really let go of what these people are believing, and you start becoming interested in people because they are different from you. You know, everybody's so different, and this is a beautiful stage, and this is where you truly grow and evolve into your true being, because people will become more interested in you once you let go of trying to change them and trying to control them. So I really hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I hope you guys learned something, gained something. Just wanted to come on here because this is a video that I've wanted to do for a while, and I think that it's very fitting, especially in today's time where people are really starting to wake up and understand a little bit more about themselves as well as the universe in general. But if you like this video, make sure to give this video a like. Subscribe to my channel. If you've made it this far, you might as well go ahead and do that anyways. But with all that being said, my friends, I really hope each and every one of you guys have a wonderful afternoon, morning, or night wherever you're at. And peace, love, and happiness, my friends. Mwah.